We will get the definition. DevOps is a combination of development and operations. Right? So what does it mean? What does it mean, Andy? What is the meaning for this? See here, DevOps. DevOps means what? It is a combination of development plus operations. Combination of development plus operations is nothing but DevOps. Development means what? What is development? It is a coding, whether it is a Java coding or Python coding, anything, just it is a coding. Something of coding, we generally call it as development. Development is nothing but what? Coding, whether it is a Java coding or Python coding or anything. Something coding, we generally call it as what? Development. What is operations? What is operations? So generally the people, system administration, infrastructure maintenance people, middleware administration people, database administration people, all these come under operations only. The companies, if you guys have observed, you will get system administrations, infrastructure administrations, middleware administrations, and the database administrations. All those people will come under operations stream. Who will do the coding? Those people will come under development team. Understood? You guys can see two types of people. That who will do the coding? Those people will come under this development part. Right? Who will do the operations like system administration, right? Database administration, middleware administration, infrastructure administration. All those people will come under operations side. Now, tell me what is DevOps? It is a combination of development and operations. It's called as what? DevOps. And generally, all of you know that generally even organization, every organization, and if you go with any organization, we have team of developers who do the coding, and we have team of system admin and the middleware admins, etc. Separate teams are available. If you see in the companies, for development, separate team is available. For testing, separate team is available. For database administration, separate team is available. For infrastructure maintenance, separate teams are available. Different teams are available. Now, we are using a single term called as DevOps, and we are saying, yes, you should have knowledge on both coding and operations. Here, what we are doing, just we are using single term called as DevOps, and we are saying you should have the knowledge on both the development and the operations. Correct? Is it correct what I'm saying? In the companies, generally, we will have different types of teams: development team, testing team, system administration team, database administration team, etc. But here, what we are doing, we are using a single word called DevOps. We are using a single word called DevOps, and we are saying you should have knowledge on both the development part and operations part. Do you think that is practically possible? That is practically possible? Can we really expect one person can have both coding related knowledge and operations related knowledge? Guys, please respond in chat box. Practically, is it possible? One person can have both coding related knowledge and operations related knowledge? Coding is a completely separate domain, whether it is Java coding or Python coding, etc. I should be expert a particular technology only, and I should be expert only a particular technology. Right here, on one hand, they are expecting I should know coding, and other hand, I should know system administration. What this word is saying, Andy? On one hand, I should be strong in development. On the other hand, I should be strong in system and administration, operations kind of thing. All the organizations are maintaining separate team for developers, separate team for testers, separate team for system admins, separate team for database administrations, etc. You cannot simply expect a single person called DevOps to implement everything. Don't expect a single person called DevOps implement everything, means both development and operations. So this is the common definition you will find everywhere in the internet. Till now, we discussed only one line. DevOps is a combination of development and operations. So here we took DevOps. Right? Generally in the companies, for a development, separate teams are available. For operations means what? Who will do system administration activity, who will do database administration activity, who will do middleware administration activity. All those people will come under operations only. Right here we are using single word and saying this person should have knowledge on both the activities, development activity and operations activity. Right? Really, is this practical? And no, it is not practical possible. It is not possible. Right? So in the companies, if you observe, right, for every activity, separate teams are available. Right? We can't expect this one person should have the knowledge on both development and operations. Don't expect like that. But if you check in internet, what is DevOps means, this definition only it will give it. This definition only. You can check anywhere and this definition only you will get it. This is the common definition you will find everywhere in the internet. They simply say that DevOps is the combination of development and operations. That does not make any sense. That does not make any sense. As a DevOps engineer, I will not do any coding. As a DevOps engineer, I will not do any coding. That is the impression of this word is giving. That is the impression of this word is giving, and what we do is entirely different. And as a DevOps engineer, what we will do that is entirely different. DevOps engineer never do the coding. And he don't know anything. He don't know anything about coding. But what this word is telling, DevOps engineer should have the knowledge on both coding and operations. Coding and operations, right? So then what is the exact definition? What is the exact definition for DevOps? Huh? Up to now, clear, guys, what I'm saying? Please respond in chat box. I'm not getting any responses. One minute. Right? I'm once again repeating. Please concentrate. DevOps is nothing but what? It is a combination of development and operations. Combination of development and operations. Here, two terms are there. One is development, another one is operations. Development is nothing but what? It is nothing but coding. Whether it is a Java coding or Python coding, etc. Development is nothing but a coding. It is a Java coding or Python coding, etc. Next one, what we have? Operations. Operations means what? Right, it is system administrations system administrations, middleware administrations, and database administrations all will come under operations team. Operations center. Please read these two statements. DevOps is a combination of development and operations. Our development is nothing but what? It is nothing but coding, whether it is Java coding or Python coding, etc. Operations means what? System administrations, middleware administrations, database administrations, all will come under operations part. All will come under operations part. Right. So here, generally and every organization, we have team for developers who do the coding, and we have team for system admin and middleware admin and database admin, etc. Remember, if you go with any organization, we have separate team for development who will do the coding, and we have team of system administrations and middleware administrations, database administrations, etc. Now we are saying a single term, and we are using a single term called DevOps. We are using a single term called as DevOps, and we are saying this person should have the knowledge on both coding and operations. What we are saying, this person, right, to whom we are calling DevOps engineer, that person should have the knowledge on both coding and operations. Do you think that is practically possible? Can we really expect one person can have both coding related knowledge and operations related knowledge? Coding is completely separate part, and coding is completely different, whether it is Java coding or Python coding, etc. It is completely different. And I should be expert in particular technology only, whether it is Java or Python or C#, anything. I should be expert in only particular technology, and I can't able to do all. I can't able to do Java coding, Python coding, C# coding, all those things, and only I should expert in particular technology only. Right? But here, what this DevOps is saying, on one hand, they are expert. On one hand, they are expecting I should be strong in development, and in other hand, I should know system administration also. What they are expecting, on one hand, I'm strong in development, on the other hand, I'm strong in system administration activities also. Right? So, but the thing is, all the organizations and in all the companies, right? So we have separate teams. Development team is separate, administration team is separate, testing team is separate, etc. We have different teams are available. You cannot say simply, you cannot simply expect a single person can do both activities. A single person can expect both activities. DevOps, don't expect DevOps people will do both coding and operations. But here, if you check in internet, this is the common definition what we will get it. This is the common definition what we will get. Right. So they simply say that DevOps is the combination of development and operations. That does not make any sense, no sense. Right. So then what is the exact definition for DevOps? See, let me write the exact definition for DevOps. DevOps is basically a combination of certain automation tools. Automation tools. DevOps is basically a combination of certain automation tools which helps you to speed up the process of delivery, process of delivering the software delivering the software to the client. Now read this point. And DevOps is basically a combination of certain automation tools which helps you to speed up the process of delivering the software to the client. Understood? What these tools will do, and just it will speed up the process of delivery. Process of delivery the software to the client means what, and as quickly as possible we can deliver the software to the clients. Read the statement, guys. This is the actual meaning for DevOps, not this one. Don't feel DevOps is nothing but combination of development and operations. Don't feel like DevOps person can do both development and operations. The DevOps people never do the coding. They won't do the coding, right? This is the exact meaning for that. DevOps is basically a combination of certain automation tools which helps you to speed up the process of delivering the software to the client. What DevOps is doing, it is speed up. It will speed up the things to deliver the software to client. Understood? Read the statement. Now compare these two things and compare this statement and this statement. You guys will get clarity. Is this clear? Compare these two things. Now you will get clear clarity what is DevOps. Don't feel DevOps engineers will do coding and operations both. And in our organizations, for development, separate teams are available. Right, maintenance, middleware, separate teams are available. Database, separate teams are available. Right, one person cannot do both activities. DevOps is not a one tool. It is a combination of multiple tools. As all these tools are combined, what they do is they help to deliver the software very quickly to the client. This is basic definition of DevOps. It is not a one tool. It is combination of multiple tools. And all these tools are combined. What they do is they help to deliver the software very quickly to the client. Understood? Please respond in chat box. Clear? What, Pradeep? Clear? Right? Next one. So why DevOps is required and why it came into the market? Why DevOps is required? Why it came into the market? Anyone have idea? Why DevOps is required? Why it came into the market? See, assume I have one requirement. Assume I have one requirement. I have one requirement. Assume take some college and take some college. So this college people went to one software company, and these college people are approached with some TCS for developing one project. These people, college people wants one project. Maintaining this college, they required one software, right? So to maintain the attendance system and to maintain the salary system, right? To maintain the marks and everything, these people are required some software. College is required one software, and for that software, these people are approached with TCS company. And all right. So now, what TCS company will do first? What this company will do first? Right. So both the discussions are done. TCS started the work. Issue TCS started the work. Right. So from where TCS will start the work? From where TCS will start the work? What is the first activity? What is the first activity? The first activity is requirement gathering. TCS people will collect the information from this college. What is your requirement? What you want exactly? Right? What software will do? That information will gather from the college. Right? See, this college is approached with TCS for developing one software. Right? Agreement is done. TCS started the work. First activity of the TCS is collecting the information from the college. Requirement. What is your exact requirement? That information will be collected by TCS. We call it as what? Requirement gathering. Right. This requirement gathering is simple English statements, and there is no coding, just English statement. What you want, what I want to do for you. That requirement these people are collecting from the college. This is simple English statements. Once requirement gathering is completed, what TCS will do, and based on this requirement, they will start the analysis. They will start the analysis. First activity, requirement gathering. Once requirement is clear, they will start the analysis. Right. In this analysis phase, what they will do, and once requirement gathering is completed, right, the TCS people will start the analysis. Right. In analysis phase, what they will do, and they will decide what technology we need to use to develop, to complete this requirement, to fulfill this requirement. What technologies are suitable? Which technology is suitable for this requirement? Everything will be decided in analysis phase. And whether you are going to use Java, whether you are going to use Python, what you are going to use, which database you need to use, which programming language you need to use, which framework you need to use, everything is decided at analysis phase. First phase is requirement gathering. Once requirement is clear, right, they will start the analysis. In this analysis phase, they will decide which technologies we need to use to implement this software, which programming language we need to use, which database we need to use, right? Which middleware tools we need to use, which framework we need to use, where we need to deploy. Everything they will decide in analysis phase. Once analysis phase is completed, next they will go for design and planning. Design and planning. Next phase is what? Designing and planning. In this stage, what it will happen? Designing phase, and what it will happen? Some senior developers will come and they will create some diagrams, sequence diagrams, flow diagrams, and everything, right? They will create it. In designing phase, what it will happen? Senior developers will create some diagrams, sequence diagrams, flow diagrams, and everything. Right? Based on that design, next developers will come and start the coding. guys, this is not a new topic set. In your college days, you guys have right SDLC life cycle models, and these are same things set. Same thing we are discussing it here. Once the designing is completed, developers will come and based on this design, based on those diagrams, coding will start. Simple, guys. If you guys want to construct a house, first what you guys are required? Design, blueprint, plan is required. Once that blueprint, design plan is ready, based on that plan, based on the design, construction will start. Here also, if you want to start the coding, right, before that you should have design, blueprint, plan is required, some diagrams are required. Based on that you will start the coding. Based on that you will start the coding. Understood? Right, before designing, what you will do? You will do some analysis. Okay, I want to construct the 3 BHK flat, right? Where kitchen will come, where hall will come, right? Where bedrooms will come. There's some analysis you have to do it. Right? Which material I want to use for ceiling, which material I want to use for flooring, and everything. That analysis you will do in analysis phase. Right? So before that, builder will take the information from the customer, and builder will take the information. Hey boss, what do you want? How you want the house? Right? That information will collected from the user, and the builder will collect that information from the user. Same process here also. Right? Before starting the work, TCS people will collect the information from the college. What you want, how that software needs to work, that information will be collected by this TCS people. Once requirement gathering is completed, they will start the analysis. So in this analysis phase, they will decide to implement this requirement, to develop this software, what technologies we need to use, what programming language we need to use, what framework we need to use, what database we need to use, what middleware required, middleware tools are required. Everything will be decided in analysis phase. Once analysis is completed, they will go for design and planning phase. Here, right, some senior developers and not junior developers, senior developers will come and they will draw some sequence diagrams, flow diagrams, and all those things. Class diagrams, sequence diagrams, flow diagrams. Based on those diagrams, developers will start the coding part. Based on those diagrams, developers will start the coding. Right? So once coding is completed, next phase is testing, and it will go to testing. Once coding is completed, next it will go for testing. Next it will go for testing. Right? So once testing is over, next what it will happen, and after testing is completed, right, this college people will come to our company. This college management will come to our company, and they will do some UAT testing, and we call it as user acceptance testing. And UAT means what? User acceptance testing. Right? Based on some test cases. And so this college people, this management have some test cases, and by using those test cases, college people will do UAT, user acceptance testing. And user, who is the user? College. Right? Acceptance testing. Once testing is completed, our testing, and this testing will do by company, TCS company. And once testing is completed, right, this college people, college management will come to our place, our company, and they will do some UAT testing, user acceptance testing. Right? Once a user acceptance testing is passed, it is completed, then it will go for delivery. It will go for delivery. We call it as R&M, release and maintenance. Release and maintenance. Right? We are releasing the project to client. Right? Client can start the work. Client can use that project. Release and maintenance. Maintenance means what, Andy? Right? Once you release the project to client, client is using that project. Right? Suddenly something is happened. There, right? Some issues are came, and right? Again, if any issues are occurred, if any problems are occurred, who is responsible to solve those issues? And TCS people is responsible to solve those issues. When issue is occurred, immediately this college people will give a call to this TCS people. TCS people will go and check those issues. The TCS people only will maintain that project also. After releasing, who will maintain that? TCS people only who developed that project. Those companies only will maintain that project also. If there is any issues are occurred, TCS people only will responsible to resolve those issues. Right? So this is the process. First one is what? Requirement gathering. Next one what? Analysis. Next one what? Design phase and design and planning. Next coding. Next testing. Next UAT. Next release and maintenance. Right? So this entire process we call it as what? SDLC, Software Development Lifecycle. SDLC, Software Development Lifecycle. Right? And this model is called what? And this model is called what? Waterfall model. And waterfall model. Right? First requirement, next analysis, next design, next coding, next testing, next UAT, next release and maintenance. This flow, this model is called as waterfall model. Right? This process is used to develop the software more than 15 to 20 years back. Nowadays, no one is not using this waterfall model. And earlier days, 15 to 20 years back, right, companies are used this model for developing the softwares. Understood? 15 to 20 years back, companies are used this model for developing the software. Nowadays, no one is not using this. No one is not using this. Right? They understood in this model, lots of problems are there. And lots of problems are there. Right? And they came up with right, much more advanced models. Right? They understood, right, in this model, several problems are there. And they come up with much more advanced models. What advanced models are available? And iterative model, iterative models of SDLC, iterative model. Next, we have incremental model, iterative, incremental model, like this. Several advanced models are came into the picture. Understood? Finally, all the companies, finally, majority of the companies are decided to use, right, Agile Scrum model. Agile Scrum. Right? After this waterfall model, so many SDLC models are came into the picture. Iterative, incremental, and all those things. And finally, all the companies are decided, right? They strongly settled on one model, which is Agile Scrum model. Nowadays, companies are using this Agile Scrum model only, not waterfall model, not iterative model, not incremental model. Right? So earlier days, right, 1 decade back and 10 years back, right, people used this waterfalls and all, but now all the companies are using this Agile Scrum only. Clear up to here? Up to here, any doubts? Here, what we are doing, and right, this college, some ex-college, right, approach to TCS company for developing one project. Right? Agreement is done. First, TCS started gathering the information from the college. Right? We call it as requirement gathering. Once requirement gathering is completed, TCS started analysis. Right? In this analysis phase only, right, they will decide what technologies we need to implement this software. Understood? Right? Once analysis is completed, next it will go for design and the planning phase. In this design and planning phase, right, they will decide, right? They will draw some sequence diagrams, flow diagrams, class diagrams, everything, right? Once the design and planning is completed, developers will come and start the coding. Developers will come and start the coding, right? Once coding is completed, it will go for testing. It will go for testing, right? Here, what we will do, we will test that application, whether it is expecting as, right, whether it is working as expected or not. Once testing is completed, right, next it will go for UAT. UAT means what? User acceptance testing. Right, client people, right, client people will come to here and they will do UAT testing and based on the some test cases. And once UAT is passed, once UAT is successful, then it will go for release. We are handovering the project to client. Next, maintenance. Right, if there is any problem is occurred, right, TCS people is responsible to solve those problems, and we call it as maintenance. Understood, guys? This is the general flow, and we call it as SDLC, Software Development Lifecycle. And this model is nothing but waterfall model, right? Next time. So they understood, and all the companies are clearly understood. If you go through this model, right, a lot of problems are there. A lot of problems are there. They understood and they came up with different SDLC models. What models are came? Iterative model, incremental model, right? So many models are available. Finally, after seeing all these models, finally, all the companies are decided to use Agile Scrum model. In Agile Scrum, lot of advantages are there, right? And they decided to use this Agile Scrum model. Nowadays, companies are using Agile Scrum only, not waterfall, not iterative, not incremental models. Up to here, clear? Up to here, any doubt? Pradeep? Just two things only we discussed. What we discussed, what is DevOps generally? What is the exact meaning for DevOps? Right. So next, what is SDLC? Suppose if you want to develop any project, what different stages we have and what SDLC models we have. Just these things only we discussed. Right. Next. So what is Agile Scrum, and what is Agile Scrum? Very, very important point. What is Agile Scrum? Agile Scrum is a process where there is continuous interaction with the client, every stage. And Agile Scrum is a process where there is continuous interaction with the client, right? Every stage of development and every stage of testing will be monitored by the client. Every stage of development and every stage of every stage of development and every stage of testing. Every stage of testing will be monitored by the client. This is the advantage. In previous models, we don't have this opportunity, but in Agile Scrum, client will monitor everything. Understood? What people are doing, what development people are doing, what testing people are doing, everything will be monitored by the client. Daily they will have the meetings with the client. Client will take daily updates and scrum meetings, stand-up meetings, and daily client will take the update from the team. In Agile Scrum is a process where there is continuous interaction with the client. Every stage of development and every stage of testing will be monitored by the client. Understood this point? Is this point is clear? What is happening in Agile Scrum? Guys, respond. Is this clear? Pradeep? Right? But in waterfall, we don't have this facility. But in Agile Scrum, that monitoring is there. Client will get to know everything step by step, what is happening there. Everything client can able to monitor in this process. So that's why this process became more popular. Right? So what happens in the Agile Scrum? What happens in the Agile Scrum? The entire college project is divided into multiple modules. Here, what we are doing, we are developing one software for the college. So that entire project is going to divide into multiple modules. Here, one module is nothing but one functionality. One module is nothing but one functionality. First functionality, I want to develop the software for attendance system. Next, I want to develop software for marks system. I want to develop software for salaries. Right here, each module is nothing but one functionality. The entire project is going to divide into multiple modules. In Agile Scrum, what is happening? The entire project is going to divide into multiple modules. Each module we call it as what? Each module we call it as a one functionality. One functionality, and see here. Observe carefully. And here, the entire project is going to divide into multiple modules. Right. First module, second module, third module, fourth module, fifth module, like this. Right. So in first module, I want to develop attendance system. Right. In second module, I want to develop a software to maintain the marks system. Right. So in third module, I want to develop salaries for the lecturers. All these things I want to do, right? Like this, etc. Different modules. The entire project is going to divide into multiple modules. Now observe very carefully. And now you guys will get to know where DevOps will come into the picture. Where DevOps is going to come into the picture. Now you guys will get clarity. Right. So now here, which model we are using? Agile Scrum. In Agile Scrum, the entire project is going to divide into multiple modules. So now I will take first module. And attendance system. And first module I took it here. Attendance system. Observe very carefully. Very important. Now here I took first module, which is attendance system. Right. So assume to develop this attendance system, it will take 2 to 4 weeks of time. 2 to 4 weeks. Of time. Right. So this 2 to 4 weeks of span, this time span of work, we call it as very important one sprint. In the companies, we will use this terminology only, sprint. Right. Each sprint in entry room, they will ask, right, each sprint, how many days it will take? right? How many days will take for one sprint? It means, right, minimum 2 weeks, maximum 4 weeks. Minimum 2 weeks, maximum 4 weeks. That's it. Sprint have only this time span, 2 to 4 weeks of time. 2 to 4 weeks of time. Guys, clear what I'm telling? Right, first module, they started first module, right? It will take 2 to 4 weeks of time, and we call it as one sprint. One sprint, first sprint will complete within 2 to 4 weeks of time. Right, this 2 to 4 weeks of time for what? And this 2 to 4 weeks of time for what? Development, testing, and release, and for all those things. And within this 2 to 4 weeks, we need to deliver the module to client, right? For developing, testing, and release, right? Release first module, and it will take 2 to 4 weeks of time span. This 2 to 4 weeks time span of work is called as what? Sprint. After completing this sprint, this attendance system module is ready to use by the client. We delivered, right? Testing, everything is completed, we delivered. Now client can start using this module. Client means who? College. And that college team can start using this module. They no need to wait until completing all these modules. They need to wait until completing all these modules. But if you go for waterfall model, iterative model, incremental model, and client should wait until completing all these modules, then only they can able to use it. But coming to Agile Scrum, client no need to wait until completing entire project. In Agile Scrum, the project we are dividing into multiple modules, and module wise we are going to work. First, we will start work on this attendance system. To complete this, it will take 2 to 4 weeks of time. This 2 to 4 weeks, we call it as one sprint. After completing this 2 to 4 weeks, by the time of completing this 2 to 4 weeks, right, this first module is ready to use by the client. Right, 2 to 4 weeks for entire thing, and development, testing, and release. For everything, we are giving only 2 to 4 weeks of time. Understood? Understood, and right. So assume first 2 weeks. First 2 weeks for what? Development. Development will take 2 weeks of time. Right. After completing 2 weeks, remaining 2 weeks time is there. In these 2 weeks, we need to complete testing and we need to release also. We need to do these two activities in last 2 weeks of time. First 2 weeks only for development. Once development is completed, next testing we need to complete, release also we need to complete in next 2 weeks of time. Right? Entire thing we need to complete within 4 weeks of the time. Now observe very carefully. Right here, development is completed, testing and release team came and they started their work. Right. So here in this time, in this 2 weeks of time, what this development team will do, and their job is done. Right. Testing team and releasing team, they started their work. So now in this second 2 weeks of time, what development team will do? I want response. Pradeep, what development team will do in this second 2 weeks of time? And please, we'll work on CND. Here, don't feel development team will sit ideal. And development team will sit ideal. Don't think like that. And here, right? Here, billable, and every day is billable. For every hour, client will pay the salary. And for every hour, client will pay the salary. So no one will sit ideal. And right. So development team will start work on this second module. Second sprint and second module, and development team will start work on this marks system. And right now observe very carefully. Right, in this 2 weeks of time, second 2 weeks of time, right, in 1 week, testing team is completed their job. At the time of doing testing, they felt, array, something went wrong. Development is not in proper way. Right. So it is not reaching our expectations. right? So testing team identified some issues in this module. They felt it is not going wrong. It is not going wrong. So now what they will do, and again they will send it back to developers. Again they will send it back to developers. Again developers will come and start work on this. Again developers will come and start work on this. Right now, what about this work? And what about this work, brother? What about second module? Right. So they started working on second module. After 1 week, testing team told, "Array, first module, whatever you developed, that is not working as expected." So now again, developers are came into the first module and they started work on the first module. What about the second module? I want to respond. What about second module? Almost right. If first module is not done as expected, if first module is not working as expected, this is the base module, and this is the base module, right? Obviously second module also almost will get failed, right? Based on this first module, they are started second module, right? If first module only not working, right? Obviously second modules almost 99% of the, right, 99% second module also will get failed, right? At the time of constructing building, if you are not constructed the pillars properly, how you can do the floor? And if you want to do the floor, first you need to, right, put strong pillars, and then only on top of that you can able to build one floor. And but if you don't have the pillars strong, right, if the pillars are not strong, and then how that floor will exist? And here also same. Even first module only not working correctly, then how second module will work, right? So again developers needs to start from beginning, right? First he need to fix all the problems what he have in first module, then again he will come to second module, right? Here what is happening, right? Because of this team and testing team and releasing team taking 2 weeks of time, and because of that time, right, here rework is happening. Rework everything, right? Wastage of time, wastage of efforts, right? Instead of taking 2 weeks of time, right, this portion testing and releasing, if this portion completed in 4 hours and 4 hours or 4 hours or 8 hours, 8 hours or 10 hours, and only within hours only, if you complete this process, instead of spending 2 weeks of time, if you wind up this entire process in hours, if you wind up this entire second part in hours, 4 hours or 8 hours, developer time won't get wasted. Time won't get wasted. Efforts won't get wasted. Understood? Correct or not? Pradeep, is it correct or not? Here, for testing and releasing, we are taking 2 weeks of time. Right. Meanwhile, developers are started working on second module. Right. After completing 1 week, 1 week out of these 2 weeks, testing team realized that something is not working here, and again they send this code back to developers. Right. So by the time developers completed second module also half of the thing. Second module also they completed half of the part. Right. So and they get to know first module is not working properly. Again they will come to first module and they solved all the issues what they are facing in first module. Right. There may be a chance of getting same issues in second module also. Again they need to work on second module. Right. It is completely waste of time, waste of effort. Why this time wasting and effort wasting? And because here for testing they are taking 2 weeks of time. For testing and releasing, they are taking 2 weeks of time. Because of this time only, here rework is happening. Instead of taking 2 weeks of time, so this entire work, if you can wind up within 4 hours or 8 hours in single day, right, here there is no word like time waste and effort wasted. Correct or not? Guys, please respond. Is this correct or not? Yes, sir. And one more thing. And one more thing. Here, college people are approached to TCS people. College people approached to TCS people. Right? TCS people will do this project for free of cost, and any company will do the project for free of cost? No, no, they will take money. They will take money and assume they are charging $5 million. Assume they are charging $5 million. Right? And right, this TCS is working on 6 months. Right? TCS is working 6 months to complete that project. 6 months and $5 million. $5 million. Right. So now, why college people are investing $5 million of money? And just to tell me one thing, why these college people are investing this much of money? And after completing this software, they will get returns. They will get returns on the investment. So now, what company is investing? Right, they will get returns on that investment after completing 6 months of time. And after completing 6 months of time, only these college people can get the returns on that investment. Why TCS is taking 6 months of time to complete this entire project? And this is in traditional model. If you go for waterfall model or anything, right, client should wait to get the returns on investment. Right. So this much of time. How much time? Right. TCS people are committed to complete this project. Until completing the time, client should wait to get the returns on investment. ROI. We call it as ROI. ROI means returns on investment. Is it clear or not? Is it clear or not? Here agreement is done. TCS told 6 months it will take to complete this project. And for the 6 months, we are charging $5 million. Right now, if college people wants to get the returns on that $5 million, when they will get? After completing this project. When this project will get complete? After 6 months. But if you go for Agile model, that the client need not to wait to get the returns on investment right, until completing entire project. In Agile model, client not required to wait until completing entire project to get the returns. Right. First month, right, in 6 months, first module is completed. Now client start getting the returns on right first module. And client can use this first module and the returns will come on this first module. Right. By the end of second sprint, second month, right, this is second module also will go into the live. Client will get returns on this second module and first module both. Right. By the end of third month, this third module also will complete. Right. Client will get the returns on first module, second module, and third module as well. Right. Right. So advantages are there or not in Agile? Guys, please tell me. But if you go for normal traditional waterfall model, right, client should wait until completing the entire project to get the returns. But here we don't have that concept. Every month from first month of ending onwards, client start the getting returns. Right, this is the advantage of Agile. Right, here one more thing what we discussed. Right, if you complete this process right in 4 hours or 8 hours or 10 hours, right, here there is no wastage of time. There is no wastage of time. Understood? Right. So this is the where exactly the principle of DevOps will come into the picture. Here time wasting, effort wasting is there, right? Here exactly the principle of DevOps will come into the picture. What DevOps says, and DevOps says, what DevOps says, and it says that if you can use certain automation tools to speed up testing and delivery rather than wasting 2 weeks of time, you can wind up this job maybe 4 hours or 8 hours or 10 hours. Then there will be no wastage of time and no effort wastage. Understood what DevOps is saying? DevOps says that if you can use certain automation tools, and by using certain automation tools, if you speed up this activity, by using certain automation tools, if you speed up this activity, testing and delivery end, right? So instead of spending 2 weeks of time, if you complete this activity within 4 hours or 8 hours of the time, within 4 hours, or if you wind up this activity within 4 hours or 8 hours, there is no word of wastage of time and wastage of developers effort. Correct or not? To speed up these things, right, we are going to use some automation tools. Understood, guys? Where exactly DevOps is coming to the picture? Here, to speed up this delivery process, we are going to use some automation tools. If you use automation tools to wind up this activity within 4 hours or 8 hours, there is no wastage of time and there is no developers effort wastage. Is this clear? Right. So this is where exactly DevOps will come into the picture. Right? DevOps is nothing but combination of multiple tools. It's not one tool only, which help you to deliver the software very quickly. Why we are using DevOps only? Right? We are using DevOps to deliver the software very quickly to the client. Understood? Up to here clear? Right, what we discussed, Randy. Now clear where exactly DevOps we are going to use to speed up the things. Right, don't feel DevOps people will do both development and operations. And that is not exact meaning. Right, so DevOps is nothing but multiple tools and it is not a single tool. By using those tools, we are going to speed up the things. And we are going to speed up the delivery of the software to client. Right? Clear? Any doubts? Pradeep, clear? What is a DevOps? Where DevOps will come into the picture? Right? Which SDLC model companies are using? All are clear? Okay. Okay. So we'll discuss tomorrow. Tomorrow I will explain what tools we are going to cover in our course. Tomorrow I will explain one by one, and here we are going to use so many tools, and right here we are going to use so many tools. And see, to speed up this process, to speed up this entire process, we are going to use, to speed up this entire process, we are going to use Jenkins. Right? So now, after developing this code, we need to put our code in one version control system, which is Git, Jenkins, and Maven. We need to run the build. Right, to run the build process, we are going to use Ant, Maven, these kind of things. Right. So next, CI/CD. Jenkins means CI/CD and continuous integration. Those things. All these things tomorrow I will cover. In tomorrow's session, I will discuss what we are going to learn in this course and what tools we are going to learn. Right. So today class is clear. So just what we discussed, Andy. Right. So what we will get in internet? DevOps means what we will get in internet. DevOps is a combination of development and operations. Right. So don't feel like DevOps engineers will do both development and operations. In the companies, development separate teams are available for development, testing, and operations and all those things. The exact meaning for DevOps is a basically combination of certain automation tools which helps you to speed up the process of delivering the software to the client. Right? So by using all these tools, we can speed up the things and we can speed up the process of delivering the software to the client. Right? Here we are using Agile Scrum. Agile Scrum is process where there is a continuous integration, continuous interaction, continuous interaction with the clients and what people are doing, what developers are doing, what testing is doing, right? So on which stage, now what is the stage, right? Up to what level the project is completed, up to what level testing is completed, that everything monitoring is there in Scrum and Agile Scrum, right? Continuous monitoring is there, but in normal waterfall model, iterative model, incremental model, there is no such kind of monitoring. But in Agile Scrum, right, complete monitoring is there. That is the advantage. And here, what we are doing, just we are dividing the project into multiple modules, and we are working on each module. Right? So first module is completed. We can deliver that first module to the client. Right? Client will start getting the returns on the first module. Second module is completed. We are delivering the second module. Third module is completed. We are delivering the third module. But in normal traditional approach, olden days traditional approach, that we can't able to divide the project into multiple modules, and we can't able to deliver those modules to client. Client should wait until completing entire project. Client should wait until 6 months. Then only he will get that project end. Then only he can get the returns on that investment end. But in Agile Scrum, client no needs to wait to get the returns end. Client no needs to wait until completing entire project to get the returns. After first module is completed, he will get the returns on the first module. Second module is completed, he will get the returns on the second module. Third module is completed, he will get the returns on the third module. Client is not required to wait until completing entire project in Agile Scrum. But if you go for normal traditional approaches, which are waterfall or iterative or incremental, right, client should wait to get the returns until completing that entire project. Understood? Here we need to deliver the modules as quickly as possible, and to speed up the things, we are using some automation tools, right? Clear up to here? Okay. Okay, I'm going to stop the session. Tomorrow we will continue. Okay, class tomorrow also I will start at 8:30. From Monday onwards, I will start 8 o'clock. Okay. Any questions? Okay. Thank you.